So I just want to talk a little bit about the N.T. Wright side of Peter's paper, because I looked at N.T. Wright a little bit for mine as well. So Peter tries to point out that N.T. Wright wants to contend that there's an intermediary state, but that physicalism is also true, and those things are incompatible because you need to have some sort of continuity through the intermediate state. Physicalism demands a body. I think it's a little bit of a mistake to characterize N.T. Wright as a physicalist. I think you want to divide the argument into three different sections: physicalism, dualism, and then that blurry middle ground that we learned about in class that kind of encompasses non-reductive physicalism and property dualism, this kind of murky center ground. I think that's kind of where N.T. Wright is sitting. N.T. Wright wants to give death a little bit more credit and a little bit more seriousness. So one way of solving the problem of continuity through the intermediary state is to say, well, there's something about the way humans are made up that allows them to persist. But if death is more serious than that, and death is a dissolution of both body and soul, or whatever differentiated unity that you want to posit there, then humans don't have the ability to persist through death. The Christian has the option of then maintaining that there is some sustaining act of God, which allows there to be persistent identity through that instead. I think this kind of goes well with some of the language in Revelation 20, at least if you're not millennialist, where if, as I'm taking in my paper, theosis is true, then a believer who dies is united with Christ progressively throughout his life and is caught up into the community of the Trinity in some sort of less than the fully ultimate way of the new kingdom, but is in some sort of rest and yet awareness in the community of God, while those who don't believe in their fragmented state of death are sustained but not aware and are only brought back to life at the throne of judgment. That's just one way of reading Revelations, but I think that you can posit a persistence of identity with the persistence being attributed to God's sustainment instead of something that's inherent to our own nature. And I think that's what N.T. Wright wants to do. So I wouldn't say that his intermediary state is incompatible with his notion of differentiated unity versus a harder physicalism.